Hey gang, what's up? Who fancies a quickie? So this is a 5-minute blitz game that I played earlier on today. I think it's quite instructive, and the main thing is that there's just one move in this that explodes the whole position, and it'll be interesting to see if you spot it as well. So opponents rated sub 1400 in blitz. I'm rated sub 1500, and we'll just go through it. So I play e4 obviously, and they play the Sicilian. Now I have been playing the closed Sicilian Grand Prix attack, and I don't know, sometimes it works, sometimes it's not, and I'm still feeling like I need a kind of, at this level, anti-Sicilian, rather than going into trying to learn proper, open Sicilian lines and all that kind of stuff, and this and that and blah, and it can go in so many different directions. There's so much theory. So what I've been trying is this delayed wing gambit. It's called the Mengarini variation. So you play a3 for a couple of reasons. One is to prepare b4 and then contest this pawn. So you're like Sicilianing the Sicilian player, right? Why if they played 1c5 in the first place, to prevent you from playing d4, and they're threatening to capture towards the centre and upgrade their wing pawn to a central pawn, an additional central pawn. So we're doing the same thing by threatening b4 and threatening them from the outside, either way. Anyway, so in this game, Skeptical plays d6, which is very, very common. It's actually the computer's third move. The best move here for them is g6, and then knight c6 is second, and then it's d6. D6 white is still equal. And now here comes b4. Right, this is the whole idea. So I'm threatening them. They don't know what to do, so they bring out the knight, and I take. So now what we've done is I've Sicilianed them, right? Because they've now taken away from the centre with the central pawn. But the computer still says black's fine here. I'll whip out the old light squared bishop, pinning the knight. Queen comes to c7. Again, a kind of typical Sicilianish move. I play d3 now, and this is actually a blunder. Can you spot why it's a blunder? Black did not spot why it's a blunder, and the reason is because queen a5 is check and wins the bishop. Now, and in some situations you can block with knight c3, but that doesn't work because we lose the knight with check and lose the game. Thankfully, opponent didn't spot it. He hits the bishop, and now I'm thinking, what I get to do now is I get to recycle my Grand Prix ideas, because I've got my light squared connect 3 here. So, trade skis. Are you going to take the pawn or the queen? Obviously the queen, he doesn't want to mess up his pawns. And now I play f4, right? And it's still completely equal, right? We are jostling, trying to get any kind of advantage here. We're on move 8 though, and I have got no pieces developed, and he's only got queenie out in the board. So it's a very unusual game. It's an unprincipled game, but it's an unprincipled game in which nobody has an advantage just yet. He now thinks about developing a piece with probably fianchettoing the bishop to g7. It's a little bit slow because I beat him to the punch now. Excuse me. So now he should bring his knight out there, which still allows him to fianchetto and castle. He doesn't do that. He plays a pawn to f6. And this is where it starts to go a little bit Pete Tong for opponent. Okay, so I play queen f3. Now, why I play queen f3, I cannot explain. No, I honestly can't. No, it's gone. No. Okay. He now plays his knight out to h6 because he's plugged up f6 with his pawn, which is a bit silly. Okay. I develop my knight to here. He attacks the queen. Doesn't mean a lot. I'll just slide over. And now he castles. Now it's +1 in white's favour. I play my other knight here. I don't mind if he wants to trade off. Why I didn't play that one? Again, no. It's 18 seconds thought as well. Okay, now his knight comes back. I castle. Okay, it's still 1 1/4 pawns in white's favour. So it's liking white. I mean, you've got to say his king is not altogether that safe. Maybe I'm looking down here, I don't know. And now we have e5 from black. Is this a good move? Well, if I take towards the centre, he's got knight takes, which is a nice situation. I doubt he would want to take with the pawn. But this bishop is looking a little bit strong. This pawn is potentially weak. I come in with this knight c4. I kind of like this move. The engine doesn't approve. What's the engine say? The engine says fe is the way to go, followed by h3. But fe, opening up the position. If he takes, in fact, he can't take with the pawn because the knight hangs behind it. So if fe, he takes with the knight. In fact, what the computer's saying is that after that, he should put the bishop here. Okay, well, go for it, computer. Knock yourself out. Anyway, I play my knight in here. He does this. I take back with the knight. Now it's +4. Because my knights are just improving, right? His pawn structure is not great, you know. And then, after bishop h6 now, hitting my knight, so I slide my queen across, and we're coming up to the moment of death, okay? So he now retreats this bishop away from my queen. Material is equal, but, I mean, white is like +4 in most lines from here, thanks to pretty secure king, pretty active pieces. You know, I'm looking at this, which would come with a fork on both rooks. It is defended by the queen. You know, my knights are pressing up into his space. All his pieces are on the first 3 ranks. +4 at least, unless you can find the killer move. So please pause if you choose, if you would like, and see if you can figure out what would you play here as white. I took 5.6 seconds. So the move that I played in the game is knight d4. Sorry, knight d5. And this just looked like a very natural move. It's an outpost, right? Because there's no e-pawn, and the c-pawn is too far forward to disturb the knight. I'm threatening a royal fork here, okay? I'm maybe threatening to come in here as well with other forking ideas, okay? In addition to all of that, I now have 3 attackers on f6, right? So this is interesting because right here I've got 1 attacker, 1 defender, who is the queen, right? But it's a sensitive square. Now this is like a double attack because I move the knight and attack f6 again, and it's a discovery by the rook as well, and the bishop's still there. So utterly devastating here. And it's one of those situations where it's kind of hard to say, well, where did that move come from? And it's sometimes you can't really put your finger on it, but when you're playing well and when you play sensible-ish moves, right, that follow principles, that leave you just generally with improvement upon improvement upon improvement, and you know, it's only a few moves, right? Because, you know, here it's equal. This is move 11, right? So pretty much equal. He comes in, he castles the wrong way. Now it's +1 to white. He retreats his knight, still +1, still +1, still not. Now it's almost equal again. The computer did not like that move at all. Okay. And this capture is actually where it all changes. He takes away from the centre. He invites me to improve my knight. This bishop's now looking stupid. It's also undefended. This bishop's never moved. And after this retreat, funny one, now the knight coming in is just devastating. He comes in with that. I could have actually just gone straight in here for the royal fork, but in actual fact, the better move is rook takes f6, attacking the queen. And he shouldn't even defend. Right? Because I'm seeing also this. Right? Queen's looking at that. Oh yeah, so the idea of rook takes f6 is to try and deflect the queen away. Because if that, then I simply have queen c7 checkmate, supported by my knight, my beautiful centralised knight. Right? He doesn't do that. He puts his queen there anyway and gets checkmated all the same. Now, I don't know. So have a quick look at the game review on this and just have a look at the flow of the game. 83 for me. There's my blunder, which my opponent thankfully missed. Here is the knight move, I guess, which, you know, it just doesn't like, but this is okay. But, you know, just going back to the graph here, decent, you know, forgivable, a couple of forgivable mistakes, but other than that, it's just general improvement, and that, guys, is that's what I want to bottle. You know, if I could bottle that and have a few drops of that, then I'm on my way towards 2000. That's kind of how I'm thinking. Yeah, so it sounds simplistic, doesn't it? And I know I've been saying this literally for years, because I've been making these videos now for about 6 years. I think I started this in 2018, 2019. The idea in the middle game, the default in the middle game is improve. Improve your pieces, improve their position, improve their control of the board, improve their their vision, their scope, all of that, and don't weaken. One of my biggest problems, I think, in my game is in my over enthusiasm to go for the headshot, to go for a quick kill, the one punch knockout thing. I end up weakening my position, overreaching, overextending, and you know, when my opponent just takes his time, doesn't get drawn into rash swinging for me, you know. That's maybe where I lose. I don't know. Maybe I need to be getting myself a coach. We shall see. But anyway, yeah, I thought I'd share that with you. Thought you'd appreciate it. Any insights that you've got, because we've got some very, very smart, learned, and experienced people following this channel. So yeah, I do really, really appreciate when you guys come up with your insights. And I read all the comments as well. So yeah, please add your ha'porth, if you like, Old English term for a halfpenny's worth. And also, if you're from Yorkshire as well, you daft ha'porth, which means, yeah, halfpenny's worth. So not a great deal. So yeah, chuck in your 2 cents or your ha'porth or whatever you want, and I much appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.